Hey everybody, welcome back. You know, it's been a interesting week, I guess. You know, sometimes life isn't everything that we see playing out. Disappointing, isn't it? You know, how we look at tomorrow and Sunday, and depending on where you're at, some people will be waking up and it's their Saturday. You know, we walk in life by seeing and hearing, smelling, touching, feelings. We look at things sometimes on a first reaction. We look at people, the way a voice changes. And I'm not saying it's in all cases, but you know, if you know the person, then it should be a lot different how you look at things. I can look at a lot of people I know and see things instantly, and I know the character of them, and I can either take it as a negative or a positive. Most likely anybody that's in my life right now that's left is all positive. Yeah, there's always negatives. There's always things that say get under your skin. We may say irritating. Well, is in the Bible those words? I don't know. I know this. When you do things long enough, I know there's punishment for what you do if it's not pleasing to God. So I look at every day that way. You know, I look at my thoughts, my tongue. You know, some people come against the way I talk about things. Okay, well, that's your right. That's your free will. Some people come across when I'm in a spot, you know, in life. You know, why are you doing like this? Why are you doing like this? Well, why are you holding a rock in a glass house and about to throw it? And I'm not coming against anybody in particular. So, and if anybody's watching this, I always say if you feel convicted, then it's the spirit in you that's convicting you, not me. I'm just giving you food for thoughts of everyday life, the things we go through, them little gold nuggets. I told you to get your 10-gallon bucket out the other day on the one video. I wasn't meaning just for that video. I'm meaning for the things that are coming up. You know, we say we love people, then there's conditions. I don't make excuses, but I will give you examples of things if somebody's taking something that's going on particular in my day. You know, the mind sometimes, you know, I used to say all the time, I don't mind over matter. And it was. I controlled my mind and it didn't exist no more. I was lucky to have that, I guess, because I know people that died from overdoses. And when I said I was done, I was done. You may say, well, that's just a strong will. You know, you got that willpower. No. I think when you have been somewhere and lived it long enough, when you finally say, here it is, I'm done with it, you're just done. Have you ever been in a bad relationship and you're like, I just can't do this no more? Well, if that's the case, strong willpower, then why didn't you stop years ago? Why do you go on for so long? What's the drive that keeps you going on? Is it the fact of being alone? Well, then I say you don't have Jesus in your life then. That I'm just saying. Because if you can't live without a man or you can't live without a woman, you don't have enough Jesus to fill that void. No man, no woman is ever going to fill the void. Matter of fact, I know as a husband, heck, I know as a father, I have disappointed. But God made me who I am. You know, I'm going to share something that I normally just bottle up in my filing cabinet, that mind. Years ago, I got hurt. And, well, it wasn't so like years and years, but I got ran off the road by a semi. The guy ran me off the road 3 times. One particular part, it was like when you run off the shoulder and you got those dips down. I almost rolled the SUV I was in. It's almost like I felt angels pushing that thing back up to keep me upright. Not only was I scared, but then for that instant, that anger come in. Well, this is a truck driver. This guy's flying up behind me, flashing his light, aggressively pulling up on me, flashing his light. Now, previous to this, I had a blowout, and it was in Jacksonville, Florida. I called Darlene. She lovingly didn't question it. The person I was married to before would have let me walk. And I'm not even kidding. Would have let me walk with a tire somewhere to get it fixed. Or let me sit there all night. She wouldn't care. Not that I cared either. So I can't come against her. I'm not coming against her. I'm just trying to make a point. Not that I cared either, but I did still do good things. I would make sure if I made food, there was food. Because even though I was a horrible person, and I know some of you might look at it today, but praises go to God. And I can't speak of God if I can't tell you where He brought me from and what He's done in there. If you can't see Him through my life, then I need to know that. Because maybe then I need to go back and look in the mirror long enough. Am I perfect, people? No. Am I ever going to be perfect? The day I walk back into the garden. You notice I said the day I walk back into the garden. Ugh. Look at this. See this place? Coffee not so good. Just saying. Whew. Wow. Anyway, as a few people on here says, Darlene says it a lot, anywho, I always think of Whoville. See, isn't that funny how distractions come in our life? Just taking a drink of coffee will throw your mindsets on everything else. And that's what the devil does. He's good at doing it. But, you know, have you ever walked in a room and you see people talking and you really don't know what the conversation's about, and then everybody like instantly gets quiet and you think in your head, were they talking about me? And the whole time you're like this awkward feeling towards these people. And then you find out later on they were planning an event for you. And you feel like, oh wow. Yeah. I feel bad now. I probably shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't probably feel that way. Well, yeah, we shouldn't. Because if you don't really know something, you shouldn't take what you hear, see, unless it's truly somebody throwing stuff at you. You shouldn't get to that point. Because honestly, the worst thing about it is, and this is the thing that gets under my skin, and I'm going to get to what I was going to tell you. When someone is saying something about you, and I'm like, okay, and I'm listening to all the things they're saying. Some of it I agree with, but I ask Jesus to mold me every day. All night long, when I'm waking up in pain, I'm asking Him, Lord, please heal me. But if not now, I know You will. I know that day when I walk through them gates, and I too will walk through them to get to the garden. When I walk through them gates, no disrespect, people, but I'm beelining straight to the wash area, straight to the garden. And I know there's going to be a time when you're going to be able to interact with family members and stuff, because You'll know them, but you won't know them once you get through that gate. And all that's going to make sense later on when I do a heaven video. No disrespect, but thank you all who prayed for me. Whoever is up in heaven now that might have prayed for me. Oh, that's right. People aren't in heaven. People are not in hell. If you're still alive, then near-death experiences don't exist. You won't go to heaven or hell until the rapture, which they don't say, the end times, they say. And they don't even believe that. They just believe that when your time is fulfilled, you're going to die, and then when God recreates a new earth, He's going to rise all the bodies up out of the grave. So there's no people in heaven, there's no hell, it's all a bunch of great stories. Could be. I'm not even going to go into the area of entertaining such an exhausting thought. So, reason being I say that is when you go through life and you just had enough. And some days, some of this stuff that goes on in the world, I guess I spend my time right now looking more for I spend most of my time now looking for good things, positive feedback on people's lives. People are interested. They always have been. I always watch people and go, I wonder what would make someone do something like that. I don't know. Just how I am, I guess. I have no other way to explain it. When you ask Jesus to be in control of your life and mold and sculpt everything, that's how it is. Then you go back, let's just rewind a little bit here and go back to what I was saying. How many of you already have your weekend planned out? I'm raising my hand because I do. How many of you are going to be upset if that doesn't happen in the order, in the way, in your calendar, in your events? And okay, check mark 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I need to be doing this. 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, I need to be doing this. How many of you live that way? Well, you're missing a lot. I'm just going to tell you, you're missing God at work in your life. You're missing a lot of things that He may be wanting to show you, but you're too busy planning your own week and day. If tomorrow comes, then I got some thoughts of what I'd like to get done. Last few weekends, it didn't get done, but it's okay. It's still winter, I guess. It's still cold out. But I like it. I always wondered why God and the Lord moved us back and forth from Florida, back and forth. A lot of money. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying, it was $3,000, $3,500, depending on how many cars, trailers, whatever, each time. Expensive. So you're looking at easy, probably about 12 grand, I would imagine, probably spent going back and forth, hotels and all that. But who am I to say it's not my money? See who gave it to me. You would say, well, I go to work. Bless me, I've heard plenty of Christians. I go to work, it's my money. Really? That's sad you live that way. Nobody's going to tell me how I'm going to spend my money. God's not telling you how to spend it. But we got to use common sense. But I figured it out last night when I was laying there. I woke up, it was roughly about 3 o'clock. Last time I looked at the clock, it was almost 1 o'clock. So start doing the math. I was up the day before. I got up at a little bit after 2. Was ready by 3. It takes me longer and longer these days to get ready. Man, it's just some mornings I stand up and it's just ridiculous. You know, you look at time frames and sleeping. It's a very important part of our lives, to sleep, to rest, to be energized. Because you can wake up cranky. Some nights I wake up and I'm in really good moods. And the devil just starts lining up the cards. Take him out with this one, take him out with that one, take him out with this one. Sometimes I feel like if anybody ever played that game Mario Kart, and the one where you got the balloons on the back and you got to pop the 3 balloons, well, some people say they never play it, and then they're like sharks. And I'm like, whoa, what just happened? It was a fun game. I actually like that game. Got rid of all the video games, and some of them I don't think was bad. It would have been bad playing, or like we used to play the motocross and stuff like that. Is it bad? I don't think it's bad until it takes up your time. It takes away that time. If you haven't spent no time with Jesus and you're playing video games, I think then you got to really watch what's going on, because the devil's distracting you now. And I know I'm already catching it, so I know some of you are probably going, man, he's all over the place today. It's been a morning. You're in pain. Things aren't going right. You got dispatch. Just don't get back to you. When they do get back to you, they tell you something you already know. And then they try to send you right back to a place. Now think about this, okay? Now let's just say we're married, okay? And I know some of you are probably ready to turn this thing off. Not trying to, I'm just saying, to make this sound, okay, let's just say we're brother and sister. Maybe married wasn't the great thing to use, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to come against that. But that's okay, you come against it. I changed it. And we're now brother and sisters, because we are. Whether you want to be or not, in heaven, we are. So, it's okay to be mad at your brother and sisters every so often. So, here we go. Let's just say this. I'm going to try to get you to understand what kind of morning this has been. Say we live together, okay? We share rent, we share the utilities, food costs, blah, 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 blah. You're going to the store, and I was like, hey, can you pick me up this and this and this? Sure. Here's some money. Don't worry. I'll do it this time. You pay for the food and stuff next week. All right, fine. Now, they go there and you call them up. Hey, sis, where you at? I'm at. I'm trying to think of a store that nobody has, so they go, oh yeah. I'm at Grog's Hop and a Jump. We have nothing store. First of all, why'd you go to that store? It never has nothing. Being the name of the store, I would imagine, why it never has nothing. I don't like that store. Well, now my sister's on the phone going, you can hear it, that, what was that for? Nothing. Yeah, something. You know, all I'm asking is you to go in there to this store and look for what I want. Well, it's not there. I just left it. So I came to this Froggy Hop We Have Nothing store. I don't even know if that was the name I used in the beginning, but it just came to me, so I'm going to stick with Froggy Hop We Have Nothing store. No, it's saying it's there. I'm going to send you a picture of it. They send you the trailer number they want you to look for. Now, before this gets really bizarre, wait till I tell you something. Okay, I'm going to go back. You go back and look. It's not there. Now she's calling me back up. It's not there. I just went back in there. I'm telling you it's not there. They even send you a picture of the empty shelf. And you go, oh, okay. Sorry. Let me tell you, people, sometimes sorry just don't cut it. When you're out here and you're rolling every mile you roll, I don't get paid for every mile I roll here. I only get paid a certain amount of empty miles that they pay me, address to address. I only get paid loaded miles the same way. Anything in between, I don't get paid. So I may drive 25 miles to get a trailer. I'm not getting paid for it. Should be against labor law? Yes, it should. At this point, I just keep putting it in Jesus' hands. That's not where I'm getting it. I'm just saying. Just give you a little bit of idea. You might appreciate when you clock in to your job on Monday, you might appreciate that clocking in. There's days I drive 2.5 hours, 3 hours sometimes before I get home. I don't get paid for any of it. They say, well, we're letting you use our truck and our fuel. I'm in your truck. Over and over and over. What do you want me to do? Park it somewhere and have somebody come pick me up? Are you going to pay me then? Well, we pay you for leaving your house. It's like, choose your battles, people. So now my sister's calling me up and she's saying, listen. I'm listening. Well, there ain't no sense in getting upset with me. I'm not upset. I can hear it in your voice. Well, but this is what's going on. I don't think sometimes our brains hear everything that's going on. Now, you think I would know because it's my sister. Trust me. My sister that passed away, I knew her like a book. But I still love her. She would use people, and if you didn't do what she wanted, look out. The fangs came out. I literally paid her rent one day. She got mad at me because I wouldn't go get something. I don't even know what it was. I think it was food or 2 liter of soda or pop, wherever you're at. Tennessee, everything's called Coke. Or it might be Pepsi, I don't know, but I think it's Coke, because never mind. anyways, so she said, well, you're not coming in, you're sleeping on the porch. Give me my money back then if I got to sleep on your porch. No blanket, no pillow, nothing. Well, you know, and at that time I didn't even have a car, I had a moped. Seriously. My car got destroyed. Not by person, by me. So I bought a moped. Guy sold it to me for $50. Couldn't get it running. I got it running. The weird thing about it is, You know what? That amazed me. I was waiting for someone to catch it in the video on the Hell Experience, going, wait a minute. If you're this age and you don't have a driver's license, how in the world are you driving a car? People, I drove from the age of 15 to the age of 18. And then when I turned 18, went and got my driver's license. In a matter of 6 months, I got 12 points and I had a suspension. Because at that point, I have a driver's license. I didn't care if I got pulled over. It sounds stupid, don't it? But you know what? Truth. And I've never told this to anybody. It was the fact that I could hold that driver's license out the window to that officer and prove that I was somebody. And if that ain't the most bizarrest way to think about life, but it's true. Today, I have peace. I have the love of Jesus. I do. Do I go back into thinking sometimes? Yes. Do I ask Jesus, why would I not get an answer on these things? Sometimes it takes a while. And I got to be patient. He taught me patience by driving this big old truck down the road. Was it right? No, but look how many times, and I mean, dang, anything could have happened. It's stupid, some of the stuff that takes place. I mean, seriously, stupid. But when you're young and you don't know, everything's okay. Nobody ever said anything to me. Hey, Nelson. Hey. Some people, close people called me now. I wouldn't lie to everybody, trust me. I don't know, it was just one of those things. Don't call me that. It's amazing. Amazing the few select people that we let do things and say stuff compared to others. I never want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I try to warn people ahead of time. It's been a crazy, rough morning. Usually if I start off, it's been a crazy morning, I'm sorry if anything comes out and I'm not doing it deliberately. I am truly sorry. And it's like I tried to explain it, and you just feel yourself sinking lower and lower. Some days I go back to that well when I just feel myself going down and down and down. And the weird part is I'm under the water, but I still can breathe. But I'm not opening my mouth to breathe, but I'm still able to breathe. And you just sink lower and lower and lower. And when Jesus comes and pulls you out of that, you're never not grateful for the moment. But we take what we want to hear and how we want to hear it. But then, like I was saying, I'm getting back around to it. When you start talking and pinpointing that rock in the glass house, and the person takes it all in, okay. I mean, I'm big on saying, yeah, but I go back to that defense. I want to explain why. And then when I get off the phone or walk away from the person, now I'm going to Jesus and asking him please to forgive me for not listening to him when he just plain out, and I'm just going to say it, stop talking. As we would say, shut up. Many times he told me, just stop talking. Stop talking. In arguments, stop talking. Because no matter what, you're going to be the wrong party in the end. People use stuff against you because you now are trying to go above and beyond. Lately, I've noticed when I'm trying to finish something, I just start over talking people. I don't even allow them to stop the conversation anymore because it's exhausting. And it's like times Do I do it? Yeah. Because I'm trying to get to a point. If not, the Lord told me just start carrying my tablet again with me and start writing down my thoughts on whatever they're talking about. But you know what happens is, just like I said, Lord, you know what's going to happen. You already know what I'm going to tell you. But I'm going to tell you anyways. By the time I start going back down this to make a point to what they were talking about, nobody wants to hear it. And things do get exhausting in life. But it's how we handle it. I mean, seriously, people. You just gotta sometimes just let it go. I call it the God moment where they're missing out. I'm to the point that I'm just not even entertaining thoughts. I'm just to the point now where I'm going, no more. Because I don't want to have judgment. I don't want to look at someone in a way that I'm not supposed to be looking at people. I don't know what's going on in your day unless you start to share, and then it starts to make sense to me going, okay, where am I going with this? I'm glad you asked. Because once you realize the day and you put yourself, now you got to put yourself literally into everything they're saying. You got to visualize yourself going through it. Once you do, you're not going to be so anxious to come against them. Seriously. I take everything and I watch it. I see it. But it's okay. It's what we do in life that makes the difference. How we stop that dynamite fuse from going off. Some people dump water on it and it's still going. Some people pick it up and throw it somewhere else. Well, now you just blew up your neighbor's house. Me? I like to pull out that knife, cut the wick off, pick up a stick of dynamite, take it over, cut it open, dump everything out of it, then go spread that powder in 1,000 different places. Cut up the dynamite stick and soak it in water. Literally, I don't do that, but that's what I do in my head. You got to defuse it before the devil lets in. Is it a dud? And you walk up to it and it blows you to pieces. Nope. I really liked him. I really liked Nelson. Wasn't the smartest of the people here, but some days his bulb wasn't as bright. We had it screwed a couple of times to get it to shine brightly. But I liked him. I couldn't stand him. Yeah, I couldn't really. You know, the guy was negative all the time. I don't need to be alive at a funeral, people, to know what people are going to say. They've already said what they needed to say. It's okay. People are going to see you however they want to see you, no matter what. But when they're in a situation, it always comes down to, and it seems like people that you see come across that go, you automatically go to this. I wouldn't handle it that way. I wouldn't have done it that way. I would have never been like that. But then when somebody goes, well, at times you do this. Whoo, there goes the fireworks. It happens all the time. Because you don't want to hear what you do. And I'm not saying it's right to raise your voice. I'm not saying it's right to anything else. But in the time, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to crank down a landing gear on a trailer that's so freaking nose heavy, and it takes everything out of it. Like this morning, after cranking, I'm on the phone, and I'm cranking, and something popped in my back. And I'm trying to get through the conversation And it's not an excuse, it's the truth. All night long, when my hip acts up, it's done. I know there's no comfort. There's no way unless I actually start sitting up. And then all I think about, man, it's going to be a long day tomorrow. I used to sit there and stare at my phone going, man, who's up that I can talk to? Then I just go, well, I'm not going to disturb somebody else. So today, I just go straight into prayer. I go out of that out of body into heaven. And I'm normal there. Sometimes, it's weird because you think I would come back and I'd be exhausted. But I'm not. I don't know. I know in life, when we start looking at life and we start looking at what people do, I don't ever want to be judged by the way that I judge other people. So, what do you want me to do, GPS? I don't know. Go on I-80 East. 80 East where? There is none. And then you turn on the wrong road and you go, oh, this ain't it. Now I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get out of this mess. Well, Nelson, just do a U-turn right here. Yeah, I'm gonna get right on that. Oh, now look, my trailer's stuck in the ditch. I'm stuck in the ditch and I got 4 lanes of traffic all jammed up because I wanted to do a U-turn in a place that I knew I shouldn't have done it. Anyways, I actually had to put my other glasses on.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto I-80 toward the Anatole Road East. Speed warning.
Speed warning. I don't like speed warnings. It's my road. I want to do whatever I want. You ever been around people like that? I used to call those people the world revolves around them. Stay away from them. I know a lot of the stuff I talk about, it may be very hard to hear, it may be very hard to sit through it, but the good thing about it is, like I said on a couple videos back, I'm hoping one day something's going to come up and I'm going to sit back and go, I know nothing about this. I have never experienced nothing like this. I want to hear this story. Until then, I still want to hear everybody's story. Like my brother Luke over here, this morning he was commenting on the video about inspiration of people, and that girl that I was telling you about that took them flowers. So many thoughts comes back to mind. What happened? What's going to happen? Well, turns out to be that the bully girl took the flowers and just shrugged it off, walked away. But the weird thing is, I actually seen a vision taking place when nobody was around. The girl that took the flowers actually teared up, was wiping tears. See, when you're in that reputation, you know what? You're not going to show weakness. You're in a fight. You don't want to show that your ribs hurt, or your hands hurt, or your legs hurt. Oh, no. They will tack the tar out of it. It's just like you might as well just put a bullseye on that spot. I know, because as soon as I seen it, that was game on. I remember a guy one night, and it was brutal. I mean, we were bleeding like all over each other, all over the place. And his ribs were hurting, and I knew at that point because, kicking him and doing all the fight moves and stuff. He leaned forward and goes, man, just let me lay here and I'll tap out. I'm done. I said, your point is what? Please. Can't do anymore, please. I said, I'm not in control of this fight. And neither are you. He said, yeah, we just tap out, man. You know the rules. Just tap. Just let me tap. I said, it doesn't matter. You don't understand. The consequences I'm going to have to pay compared to you sobbing on this mat, you're not worth it. See the examples of when you don't want to listen to somebody? You may say, well, that's kind of way different. No, not really. Because if we're not listening to somebody talk, and we're going to constantly put us as the victim. He was the victim. I didn't listen to him. But then when he tried to tell me later on what I'd done, how dare you? Well, how about the cheap shot you took? Well, Nelson, it wasn't really a cheap shot, but this is what happened. Yeah, right. And I wouldn't listen to him. Well, later on I found out it's the way that I moved in particular, and it threw him off, and that's why he hit me in a ways that he hit me or did something. Of course, I was taller and I had a longer reach. So for him, he'd have to come in at different angles to be able to hit me. But we don't think about it. We've all been hurt, and I think sometimes it's a mechanism that we put around us. You need to get rid of it. So even if somebody is yelling and screaming at you, smile. Not all the time I can do it, but I'd say a good 80% of the time I can. Most of the time, the 10% of it, I just try to walk away when I can walk away. The other 10%, some people have seen me a little angry, and I mean a little angry. That's it, just a little. Like, Darlene's never seen me mad. She's seen me angry. She's never seen me mad. She's never seen me to the point where, I was pissed and I'm not listening to nobody. Those are the times I would say, yeah, I'm definitely yelling at you. And I wouldn't be the first to deny it one bit. When you start taking sleep, hunger, pain, the morning, and you start taking all these things in there and you start to drown, it's those moments when you just can't cry out fast enough. And you want something now. I need it now, Lord. Not 10 seconds from now. I need it now. How many people are sitting there going, what? Right. I need it now. I need answers now. I'm tired of this. This is ridiculous. Why are you not answering me? Why, Lord? Today, please help me. Lord, where are you? Sound familiar to anybody? Well, who am I, first of all, to talk to the Lord like that? Well, I'm not saying it's right. Some days, and then you deal with this. Guy clearly sees the lane's closing. It's construction. What's he going to do? He's going to ride all the way on the side of me. The car behind me now is trying to do monkey see, monkey do. And I'm supposed to be the professional driver here and hit the cones, I guess. I don't know. Because no matter what it is, we got to prove our innocence. Everything goes on. A truck driver has to prove his innocence. We are guilty And we got to prove innocent. We're not innocent until proven guilty. We're just automatically guilty. We're a big truck. That's when I become a professional driver to the lawyers. But you look it up, we're not really professional drivers. People really do not see us that way until we're in an accident. Well, he's a professional driver. Nah, I'm just a guy that was able to carry this big boy down the dang on road. Without GPS, I don't even know how back in the day that I would drive around cities and drive to different places and find my way without a GPS today. I mean, after a while, you just get used to it, I guess. You make a lot of wrong turns and go, oh, that's where this road goes. Cool, I'll take that next time. You know, back in the days when you'd stop at the gas stations and you'd send your girlfriend in there. In my case, there was always a bunch of guys in the car. Which one of us is going in there to find out how to get to this place? Not me. Not me. Then fine, we're just going to drive around all day until one of us goes in there and asks. Well, you're the driver. Dude, you really think I'm going to remember, even if I write it down, you think I'm going to be able to read it? Or you're going to be able to read it? Or do you really think I'm going to remember 5 seconds? Take a left, or just, I've already stopped listening to them when they said go out here to the light, take a left, you go down there about 3.5 miles, then you're going to see, yeah, I'm done. I already stopped listening. I don't know why, it just doesn't. So then there's times when people say, are you even listening? Yes. I don't think so. You're on your phone. What would you like me to repeat to you? You just got done saying da 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 da. And then this person got up. You never said goose in between here, so that person originally now is up, running around doing duck, 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 duck. It's not the duck person. You need to sit back down and they need to stand up because they never said goose. You guys just cheated. Actually happened in a duck, duck, goose game. A guy the kid that was my friend punched me. And I punched him back. Next thing you know, we're rolling around on the ground, and then we're laughing at each other. The kid became my best friend until we moved away. Crazy. I don't know. Something goes on in the house. First thing you walk in there and you see a sink full of dishes, and I just got to the point I just didn't even care. I would just start washing the dishes, washing the pans. If I seen the pans, I would just automatically start soaking them, put some dish liquid in there, put some hot water in there. If the pans were real bad, I used to put them on the stove and let them boil and just keep boiling. And I would keep scrubbing down inside the pans with SOS pads or something and break up that stuff because they could sit for a couple days. Nobody would even put water in it. Even if you're not going to wash it, for crying out loud, please put water in it. But you see how people see you. And it's honestly, I have a lot of people ask me, why didn't you just leave? Why didn't you just do that? Because I would see the nonsense that would come in the house. As long as I was there, the nonsense didn't come in. When you want a little bit of normal, but the only thing I do think back on is today I go, it wasn't worth it because they didn't see anything out of it. I know down the line, God always puts stuff back in your life. Here comes people that has kids. I grew up in mixed marriages, my mom getting with people that had kids, and it was never uncommon. But I did see the difference in how we're treated. When their kids come over, good example. You all know how big a pork chop is, right? Well, when this person's kids wasn't over, the four of us had to take a pork chop. My mom would cut it in half, and we would have to share it. When his kids were over, we got lots of food. We didn't have to share a pork chop and cut it in half. I know what you're probably thinking. I hope they were big. Nah, they weren't very big. This guy ate white rice with everything. Well, I'm a kid. I don't like white rice. It's disgusting tasting. I don't care if you put salt, pepper. You could have put ketchup on that stuff and it was still nasty. Well, this guy would make me sit there at the table and he would check the trash cans. Sometimes they'd leave and go to the store and I'd still be sitting there. So I figured out, I'm like, if he was there, I'd roll up my pant legs, because most of the time my pants were long anyways. Yeah, when you don't have much money, you don't know, you don't care. You just roll them up. People make fun of you. Or if they were too short, when's the flood coming? Judgmental. People judge you by the way you look. So I would fill up my pant legs with rice. And you may say, how much? This guy would give me a big freaking bowl of this stuff. And everybody else is, I'm like, why am I the only one sitting here having to eat this nasty stuff? So, I'd go outside to play. If he'd turn around, I would shove some in my mouth and I would practically throw up just trying to eat it. So he could actually physically see it, so he never questioned it. And I got away with it. Honestly, people, I did. Nobody ever knew that I was taking this stuff. And we had cornfields and everything else where we lived. I'd run out in the cornfields. Again, nothing uncommon for what I would do. So nobody would expect anything of the difference. I would take my little cap guns and stuff. He's just going out there to play his imaginational stuff and shoot whatever we can't see. I'd go out in them cornfields and dump the stuff. Not in the same places. I dumped so much. Then I'd come back, turn on the water, and rinse my pant legs down. Scrub it. I found an old piece of sponge at these abandoned places down the road. And there were a bunch of like old homes like looking things. And I went in there and I'd scavenge through their things and I'd find all kinds of cool stuff. Email last night, person says, man, you should write a book. I tried. Darlene's tried. I tried to explain this stuff to her, and I don't blame her for giving up. I gave up on it a long time ago. It'd be one of those things, if you could do like an audio thing and let somebody else write it, maybe. I don't know. Maybe they'll make a movie. Who would you cast? Who would you cast to play if you was gonna I walked up to you and I was a director and stuff and I said, I'm going to do a movie about your life. Who would you pick? Now really think about it. Who would you pick to be you? Interesting, isn't it? Probably sitting there thinking about a long line of people. I think about all kinds of stuff. Think about the thoughts sometimes I have against these some trucking companies you go to, you got a drive manager. Schneider was a DBL, driver business leader, or some idiotic thing like that. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Forgive me, Lord. It's their rules. As long as they don't go against your rules, but a lot of trucking rules do go against the rules of God and the rules of the laws. Then we shouldn't do it. But if I don't do it, they're going to punish you and you're going to sit and do stupid stuff. They've been punishing me ever since I've been back at this place. But I'm grateful. I know it doesn't sound like it right now, but I truly am. Bills are made. I was getting ready to go over to this other company, and I talked to the lady. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I talked to her, and I was going over because I ran into one of their drivers, and I'm asking questions. And she said, "Well, I sent you some emails, and I checked my email. Nothing." I'm sorry. I'm not being judgmental. I've dealt with this too much. I've dealt with this all my life. That was enough for me to just go, I'm not going. And I know you guys might say, well, no, come on. Maybe she forgot to send the emails. Nope, I gave her my new email because everything got hacked and I can't get into my old email. I finally I can't even get Messenger to open up because a couple people wanted to talk on Messenger. And they say, well, I got this thing on Messenger. I can call you. I can talk to you on there. We can see each other and it won't cost anybody. I said, I'm not worried about the cost. God will provide whatever He needs. I tried to get on there, so I had to go back in Facebook. I had to go through the hoops, jump through the fire, roll around like a bear, come up, dance around, make some balloon animals, and they still, we do not recognize this or that. I'm like, then I'm putting the thing on that, what's that thing called, a tourniquet, and they tap your arms, pump your little ball in your hand, they put the needle in there, take the blood. Nope, the DNA don't match. Matter of fact, it comes up that you're a baby elephant. Awesome. Do I get to pick what baby elephant? I want to be Dumbo. Dumbo was so cool. You think about Dumbo, and I know some of you are probably going, what's in your coffee this morning, bud? Can we see what's in there? No, seriously. Dumbo. Think about it. Big ears. I got big ears, they stick out. He was so cute. Dumbo rocked. Dumbo got the fly. I don't know. Dumbo to me was cool. Matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, I almost got a tattoo. I actually had a person draw it for me. I liked Eeyore in the Winnie the Pooh. Eeyore and Tigger. I was going to, and the only reason why I didn't do it because I didn't really, the guy that went and got the tattoo done, he didn't get all of it done. He got the Tigger on his leg, and it kind of made me mad. And I'm not saying that you can't have somebody else's tattoos, but there's a long story behind all that. And, when you portray somebody, I'll forgive you, but I won't let you back in my life. Depends on how long I leave you in there. That's it. Done. Kids, I know this is going to upset a lot of parents. I'll do anything God wants me to do. But when I'm asking God, keep them far from me. You have no idea. I know some of you are going to come into judgment right now and say, Nelson, this ain't right. But I'm telling you, you have no idea what these kids have spoken about me. I could have went to jail. My son almost put me in jail for his false accusations. Darlene's youngest daughter, I would have went to jail for the things that she just spoke about me. That is not true. So not true. Because the very things, I would take my own life before I would do anything like that to someone. I was going to give up my life to save them. I would never hurt you. Never. It's sickening. One by one by one. I don't need them. I love them. How do you not? I have a love for all people. To them, they are that way. They're people. And I love them. I forgive them. I just don't want them in my life. And I know people are praying for this. That's okay, pray for it. Whatever God wants, God's going to have. Am I in pain over it? No. Trust me, if I was in pain over it, there's something about me I'm going to tell you. If I am forgiving somebody or if I'm in pain over something, don't come around me. I will not stand in the room with you. I am not going to stand next to people. It just happened last weekend. Some people came around, the girl turned around, we recognized her. She gave Darlene a hug, then she gave me a hug. And she kept talking, and I felt like I was hugging the devil. Because the words they speak. I forgave them a long time ago. And then next thing you know, the other one's coming over. She's pushing a shopping cart with this person's kids in it. And I turned around and I seen it. We made eye contact and I looked at her and I just shook my head and went over and stood until Darlene was done talking. It's just how I feel. It's fighting the devil with the devil. I know when to fight the devil. And I know when he's not going to lay that golden fiddle at my feet. Because I know what's in that golden fiddle. Every time you would pick it up and draw that bow across it, he's spreading that poison through you. Some of you might go, what does that mean? Think about it a little bit. If you don't understand it, leave a comment. I'll explain it to you, what I mean by it. I got a feeling a lot of you are going to go, oh yeah. And I got a feeling the next time somebody comes and tries to lay that golden fiddle at your feet, you're going to think of that poison. Whatever it takes to keep you out of Satan's clutch, people. Whatever it takes that you're not going to be judging people. Because remember, somebody else is looking at you in a different way. Sometimes it's not so great to hear things about yourself. You come back in a defense mode, and I'm going, whoa, back a horse up a minute. You can sit here and tell me all the stuff that you want to vomit out of your mouth about me, but I can't come and tell you anything how I see you at times. That is a two-way, one-way detour back to you nonsense if I ever heard it. If you can't listen to someone else say, well, this is how I see things at times, and you can't accept it back, then you better not even open your mouth. Because now you just told God, I am the judge. I told it, this is how it is, I don't want to hear it. And if you say, no, I'm not like that, but yet you don't want to hear it, or these words, every time this comes up, you want to tell me, you playing judge. Or what about when you go to heaven? Say if you got in a car accident right now, today. You got in a car accident and you went straight to the throne room. You were going to be judged. Oh yeah, you're going to be like, well, wait a minute. Also, I thought you said once we repented, we go up to heaven. If Jesus extract us, everything you confessed of to that moment, you are forgiven. Anything you have not asked for repentance from, you will still face judgment for it before you enter into the kingdom. You're still going to go through that judgment of it. Well, what if I can't remember when I did it when I was 16? Okay. What if you can't? What are you asking me? My thoughts? I'll give you my thoughts. Glad you asked. You may not remember, but there's a book that is written on you. There is many books. There is a book that you receive with rewards in it. There's a book of all the devious things you did. There's a book with the things that you have yet not repented. But I tell you what, there isn't a book on the things that you repented from. Because they don't exist no more to God. He erased them. You're in the book of life. I could go on about the books. I went in there and looked at my books. I went in there and asked Jesus, can I flip open this book? The angel pushed it over to me, turned it around, I opened it up, and I was like, Lord. So, what's saved of you? I always like when he says that. Sometimes he'll go, yes. I always like when he says, what's saved of you? He doesn't always talk like that. Sometimes he'll... Actually, the Lord is... That's why I call him my friend. He's everybody's friend, but when I'm introducing him to you, I'm introducing my best friend. And I know what you're going to say. What about your wife? What about George? What about Jimmy down the road? Well, I would say you're right. But he's my best friend. He's the love of my life. Oh gosh, here we go. This actually happened at a terminal. Person's transgender. Can I ask you something? I said no. They looked at me. True, I'm telling you, I wouldn't lie to you. I said no. What? Oh, you got a cross on? Oh. Exactly what I'm telling you, I'm not lying. May God stop my tongue if this is a lie. Oh. And I'm trying to give it to you how I heard it. Not necessarily, it's probably, maybe not, I don't know. But I would bet it's probably pretty darn close. I was like, what's the matter? I can't ask you a question. But you're talking to other people? And why? Why? Okay, look at that cross. I said, oh, my cross is out of my shirt? Thank you. Oh, you embarrassed of the cross? I said, no, I'm not embarrassed of the cross. I just tore so many of them off by getting snagged on stuff. So when I'm driving and stuff, I tuck them inside of my shirt so I don't snag them. I'm not embarrassed of the cross. The cross is the only thing that keeps us moving in life. Because if your cross isn't moving, you're dead to the world. What does that even mean? Which part? All of them? The part you said if your cross ain't moving, you're dead to the world, but you're alive to the world. I said either way, this is going to go downhill so fast. Because you're going to get offended. You're going to go in HR and you're going to cry and cry and cry. I'm offended. Let me ask you a question, then I'll answer your question. I'm not afraid to answer your questions. I said, okay. You're obviously a man. I'm a woman. Now I'm getting offensive. Okay, get offensive. Was you born a woman? I don't have to answer that. Okay, then we're done. You expect me to answer you truthfully, but you can't answer me. What does this have to do with anything? I said, just please answer my questions and I'll go on. Yes, I was born a man. I still have man part down there. Is that what you wanted to know? No, not really. I just wanted to know if you were born a man or if you were born a female. I was born a man. Now they're calming down a little bit. I said, okay, but you relate as a woman. That's my understanding. Correct? Yes. I did a teaching a while back. A teaching on what? I said YouTube. About, I'm okay if you want to relate to being something. I want to relate to being a billionaire. And I want all you transgenders and confused people and people that you don't have to write on a birth certificate yet, whether you're male, female, dog, cat, horse. Oh, that's a little much. No, it's not. I've seen 2 girls now that are transforming themselves into girls. One of them's going to the point of actually having some kind of things put in their bodies and having these screw in tip things with fur. Is it going too far? I think that's going too far. I haven't seen it. For one of the people standing there looked it up and go, yeah, it's right here. I'm actually looking at it as soon as he was saying it. I pulled it up just to see if it's true. It actually is. This is disgusting. They carry into the classroom, if they want to purr and rub against people's feet, the teacher allows it. It's this person is showing their emotions as a cat. Are you insane? You think this is normal? Well, that's a person wanting to be a cat. Well, so you have a problem with the person wanting to be a cat, but you don't have a problem with me saying you are a man and you want to be a woman. You're saying it's okay for a man to go to a woman's prison, that this just happened also, and he brutally raped these girls, and there was nothing they could do about it because he relates as a woman. It wasn't rape because it's a woman on woman. It's rape. Rape. I don't care if it is a woman on woman. It's still rape. You don't do it. Because a man rapes a man in prison, it's not rape, it's punishment. What kind of nonsense is this? We're teaching kids, 50-year-olds, bringing adult toys and showing them how to use them and how to put lubrication on things. Are you insane? The parents are okay with this, just like I said, and when their kids get raped, kidnapped off the streets, whatever happens to them, I don't want to hear a dang on one of them crying. Well, what? But I'm supposed to accept what you do. But as soon as I start talking about the cross, whoa. No. That's, the Bible says, Eve. I've read your nonsense Bible. God said, do not add or take away revelation. What your revelation said, it is okay to live a prosperous life. I think Joel Osteen wrote your book, because that's all that man speaks of. And I'm not coming against anybody, and I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying right is right, wrong is wrong. But in your world, wrong is right, and right is nonsense. It's the devil's tongue. To know the devil, you got to walk with the devil. You haven't seen the devil because you are too blind to see anything but your selfish desires that you have in life. You say, I have to accept what you do. I don't have to accept nothing. I'll accept what you do when you accept the words I speak and the cross I speak at. Because when my cross stops moving, I am dead to the word of God. And I'm alive in flesh in the world. Well, I don't want to be alive in flesh in the world. I want to die to the world. I want him to increase and me to decrease. Me to die to the sinful nature of this garbage that I have to look at. I have to now watch men walk around with their pants hanging down, their butt sticking out. I don't want to see it. I shouldn't have to see it. You go up and say something, you're a racist. You're prejudiced. Well, let me tell you, a split second. The heaven you're going to is full of every type of people on this earth that is of no good. What do you mean? It's called hell. The master you serve, the master of lies, master. You know, there was a movie made, The Master of Disguise. And I believe that's the one where he goes, what's the matter? I'm not turtle enough for your turtle club? I believe it was in that movie. He is the master of all deceiving ways. Look him up one day. You might be surprised where you're standing. What area of hell is going to be yours? You got, give me an example of somebody. I said Bruce Jenner, right there. That's Caitlyn Jenner. No, it's Bruce Jenner. Bruce. He was born Bruce Jenner, Olympic star. He was on the Wheaties box. You know what kills me? They take people's pictures off of things. He's no longer on Wheatie boxes. I grew up seeing him on the Wheatie box. When I used to run, I thought of Bruce Jenner. Huge inspiration. How fast that guy could run. The things that he could do in the Olympics. Then he becomes Caitlyn Jenner, and I feel let down. You have no idea what you're doing to people. This is normal. Well, no, it's not Halloween. It's Halloween every day for you guys. Explain to me, do you have a spouse in your life? Am I married? Yes, I'm married. Got a picture. This is all true, people. This really happened. So far, God hasn't stopped my tongue. He wouldn't deceive you. Right here. You're a woman, correct? You identify as a woman. Thank you. Yes. Don't thank me yet. Why? This is what? A man? Yes. Was a woman? Well, yes. Okay. You want to be dressed up like a woman. And you become the woman of the relationship, correct? Yes, I'm the wife. This person dresses up like a man. Now you show me this picture. Right. Who is this? That's my husband. No. Who'd you show me in the first person? That's my husband. That is what she looks like when she dresses up. This is what she looks like. And she stopped. I said, I'm just smiling at the guy. A couple people are standing around going, what? It's like this. The wife's youngest daughter got married to a guy. Looks like a guy. First of all, I will give you this. Yes, this person acts like a guy. This person may be 105 pounds if they're lucky. And that's with clothes on and their cowboy boots on. Maybe 105 pounds. This person stood in my living room one time, threw their hat off, threw it on the ground, and started balling up their fists and all this stuff. And I'm going, girl, I'm about to eat you for breakfast. Because you look like a guy, you're swearing at me like a guy, you're balling up your fists like a guy, and all I see is a guy. So when I blast you right out the back of my door, you're going to go out that door like a guy. And I know some of you may go, Nelson, where's God? Come on. Oh, I'm just speaking the truth. Don't be judgmental, because this whole thing's about being judgmental. I'm just giving you true facts. Like I said to them, I said, now, this person married this. There's pictures that we've seen. It looks just like her ex-husband. That she blames everybody else. She blames the person that he's with now. You stole my husband. No. Whoa, back the horses up. You speak so much false tongue. That's why I have such a hard problem with people. When it's good for the goose and it's not good for the ganders, but when the ganders say, no, it's good for you, goose, I'm going to have me a piece of that pie over there. Well, if it's pumpkin pie, I might come over and get some pumpkin pie. Pecan pie. I like pecan pie. You know, I did this once. I'm glad you guys all like to hear these things. But I bet you, I'm waiting for the comments to come back and go, Nelson, I did try this. Oh my gosh, you're right. It was Thanksgiving. First Thanksgiving I had with my youngest daughter and son. So I'm making food and I'm just like in there cooking away and preparing stuff and throwing it in the ovens and making homemade gravy and all this stuff. Never could get it like my grandma's. Never could. That is one taste that I miss. I've not yet had any. People's gotten close, but I get it. Homemade gravy, I think, was just them grandma things. You know, they grew up in the South. You know, my grandma came from where she was. And, you know, anyways, they just had a different way. You know, we grew up on putting everything in a frying pan with Crisco, lard, some other kind of stuff. I don't know what it was, but it stunk. It was nasty. Sometimes my mom would keep bacon grease, fry stuff in that, and that wasn't so good. Bacon grease after a while, oh gosh. My grandma would keep bacon grease and put it down inside beans and stuff. What does this have to do with Judgment? I have no idea. It just got me thinking about that pie. The boomerang is coming back, I promise you. But thank you for staying with me. I took, now my daughter and them, they like certain pies, my son. I took a pecan pie and a pumpkin pie. I cut them in half. I took this knife and cut it right in half. I put the bottom of the pumpkin down. I took, because I'm a big chocolate chip mint person on ice cream. I put that in the middle. I spread it all through it. And I put the top of the pecan over top of the bottom, middle of the pumpkin. And I cut a piece of it off, put some whipped cream on it. Oh my goodness. So it was so good, I had to cut another piece. And then I put a scoop of chocolate ice cream on top because I love chocolate ice cream. So I put that on it. You don't even need whipped cream, people. I'm telling you right now. And you might say, well, Nelson, what about how's it going to not melt? Put it in the freezer. Trust me, that ice cream will stay in there. Anyways, now I want some. I'm just going to have to pull over somewhere. I might not even make it home tonight. But we look at it. Oh my gosh, it's been an hour and 22 minutes of me rambling on about whatever. These whatever moments, I guess, is what keeps people going. And it's a flannel day. I was a little cold. This morning. I was all curled up in that back in the blanket, and I was like, you pull the blanket off, and you know, nope. But I knew it was Friday. I get to go home. I don't care how tired I am, how frustrated this day is. And that was the thing. I got really frustrated this morning because nothing's going right. You know, when you pull up somewhere and they won't let you in, you're like, first thing goes to my head is now I gotta drive somewhere. I could have did this yesterday, but no. You just want to go home. When you've had a week that you just go, I just want to go home. And then it's just like a domino effect. It's like once that domino gets knocked over, it just, when you try to stop it, it's never going to seem to stop. You might as well just finish watching it go and start over. You cut the bait, walk away. I don't know. I know that there's things in life that we're never going to understand. Things in life that I'm glad that you're experiencing things through my life, and it's teaching you something. It's giving you hope, and in that hope that it's giving you, it's giving me that courage to keep going. Not that I need a cheerleading squad, but if there's nothing getting, if there's no lesson, if there's nothing in it, there's no need to continue. Why do something that's not of any good? It's like doing a good deed and allowing the world to rob you of your heavenly reward for it. Now I want fried chicken. And then there's days you hear that stupid thing go off. We have a preload for you, and they're going to try to shove something else on you and beat you down. Now that's a negative thought right there. I shouldn't have that, but I do, because they do this to me every week. People work normal days, Monday through Friday, and they have weekend pay. Some people work 2 days off during the week, and they have to rotate every other so many weeks, and then they work the weekends. But what I'm getting at is, when it's time for you to go home and do your home time, your days off, our home time, I want to go home. I shouldn't have to sit out here and beg and plead. And literally, I'm begging and pleading with people. I want to go home. I've worked hard. And I'm not asking for pity. I'm just saying. There's a lot of stuff that I've never shared with people. I remember days out mowing. Mowers were falling apart. I had no money. I was barely getting these vendors paid off. The money that was owed, every check came in. From that point on, I was going to pay vendors. A lot of them wouldn't even give me credit anymore because they said, Nelson, it's got to be cash or you're going to have to use an ATM card. We can't give you credit no more because of, I appreciate you telling me what happened, but I got a business too to run. And I respected that. During the fall, some of them did let me dump leaves and stuff, and I would square up with them at the end of the month. And as long as I was coming in and telling them, how much do I owe you, how much do I owe you, I'll bring it into the next time I come in. If not, I'll call you, and I would leave cash, and I would drop it through their box, and he'd tell me, okay, I got it, thank you. I worked hard. I'd be at cemeteries mowing at night by myself, getting so dark I couldn't even see, and I'd cry. Just push, let the mower go, and I'm just mowing around and just crying. Sometimes I have to push it because the belts were so wore out and couldn't, because it was a belt-driven one. They went to hydro mowers later on. I couldn't afford one of those. I had one ordered, and I was buying stuff with cash, going in there, paying for it. I had one ordered, and I had to tell them to cancel it because there was no money. My credit started going downhill, and you know, it's funny how we look at our credit scores and we're somebody. Finally got the credit scores up enough, bought the house that we got today, and I don't do it for me. I like the house. There's a few other houses that I like, but you know, people, it's not about what I like. I mean, it is, but I don't have to live there. I'm only there a few days. If I was doing OTR, I'd be there once every other month for how many days that they give grace enough to do it. It's out of respect. Even, you can't say, well, no, Nelson, it's your wife, out of love. No, it's respect. You have to respect the person you're with. Because if it was anybody else and I didn't have, like if it was my ex-wife, I wouldn't know. I had stuff. It got sold. She was even selling cars because she worked out a buy here, pay here place, and they were a notary. She was selling my cars. I'd come home and it's like somebody's hooking. I said, well, what the heck are you doing? Oh, I bought this. What do you mean you bought this? No, that's mine. What do you do? sold a car one time for $500. I had over $3,000 just in the top part of that engine. And they took the other engine too. You have to respect somebody before you can be with somebody. Because if you don't respect them, you're not going to respect them in a relationship. There was a comment, and I forget who, it was on one of the newer videos. They said, how did you and Darlene meet? Well, I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to end this video. I probably have to do a follow-up on this one, but maybe not. When we moved back into the Kenmore area, my youngest daughter became friends with her two youngest daughters. So, I knew Darlene here and there. She'd pull up where we lived at the time and moved, because we moved. The ex was a lot like my mother. Wouldn't pay bills, have to move. I'm like, you gotta stop doing this. Don't tell me that. When it come time to moving, like everybody disappeared. Kids and all. I get stuck moving all this furniture, moving all this stuff. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. But it was nonsense to go in there and even say anything, because she would allow anything. Even when I punished them, I found out that we were never really grounded. When you left, we were allowed to do whatever we wanted. I wonder why they disrespect me. How do you respect anybody that you never had to respect? Because I'm still drinking this nasty coffee. How do I respect a good cup of coffee? Because I drink nasty coffee. But anyways, you have to. So later on, it came. People keep calling, but it came down the line of this. I got divorced. I was already, honestly, people, I know people all the time, and why'd you stay there? I hadn't been in love. No, there wasn't. I was in love with her kids. That was it. If I ever was going to ever hit a woman, she would have been the one. And I'm honest with you. It wouldn't have made it right. It wouldn't have made me feel any better. Here, I'll finish this, but here's truth to it. She took off because she was dating these people that she met down at the used car lot. Took off, went down to West Virginia to see them. Claimed they were going down to get a car. They were going to repo it. Neither one of them could drive stick. So who's driving the car back? I didn't care. Go. Oh, I'm not going to go. I don't care what you do. Listen to words are coming out of my mouth. I don't care. You being gone is a good thought to me. I get a phone call. The alternator's out in the car. I'll have your hillbilly boys down there fix it. Your boyfriend down there. I don't know what to tell you. So I got convinced of going down there with her brother to fix this stupid car. In the rain, greasy, miserable, and they all sat up on the porch laughing. Thought it was and I literally, at that point, her brother stopped me. I grabbed that wrench. He says, "What are you doing?" I grabbed tape. I started taping the wrench into my hand. He goes, "Oh, no, you're not." I said, I'm gonna. They laugh one more time. And he's like, "No, let's just finish and let's get out of here." These are the moments when you go, in life. It's what I said. You have to respect someone, or your life is never going. You're just opening Pandora's box, because there was never nothing in the beginning. I drank more alcohol with this person than I've ever drank in my life, and I drank a lot of alcohol. And I mean alcohol like Jack Daniels and stuff like that. I mean, I'm talking hard, and I wouldn't mix that stuff, people. I would drink a fifth of Jack Daniel in about an hour and a half, and go into the store and buy another one. And I could walk just as well. Well, I actually walked better back then. Seriously. I don't know how I didn't die from alcohol poison. I should have. Many times. That's why I said don't ever stay in something and you think, I always thought I'm doing it for my kids. No. Because when your kids get older, they got that called free will, and they're going to do whatever they want. That's why I said it wasn't worth it. It wasn't. But anyways, so we lived right by the high school, so they would get out of school. She worked at home at that point. She was doing the transcript stuff on the computer. And so instead of her happy because she'd have to stop work, drive them, and they didn't live close. I mean, these kids did. So they would come out of school, come over, hang out until she was able to come and get them. Well, sometimes if I wasn't mowing that night and I got out of work at a decent time, I'd be in the garage fixing something, doing something. I hated being in the house. I hated to be... I mean, it even got to a point where I hated to even be around the kids, because I knew what they were doing. I knew they were lying to me nonstop. I knew everything I did, they were trying to tell their mom, but like I'd tell her, why do you care what I'm doing? It's like you don't want me to be anywhere else because you're afraid the money's going to disappear. The money is going to disappear. You can mark that. When these kids are old enough, you'll understand this. It was all about the money. When you're a selfish person, you think about nothing else but yourself. Well, there's the devil for you right there. That's all he thinks about, himself. Nobody else exists. He's going to rip you, tear you up at the end, and that's the facts of it. Well, long story short, I used to go to movies by myself. I'd go to places and restaurants. I didn't care. I just wanted to hear adults talk. And that's when I started noticing, looking around, people texting each other at the same table. I'm going, jeez. And I thought I had it bad. If I ever have to sit in a relationship like that, I'd rather be single. I was in a relationship that I wanted. You may say, well, no, I thought you said no. It's still a relationship. You still have to interact with each other. Isn't that not a relationship? My water bottle slid all the way across my seat. Anyways, so youngest daughter had a birthday party a couple years down the line, and Darlene brought the two girls out. They're all, Tammy Sue has a Tamara Sue. Tammy Sue. I used to call her Tomato Soup. And she had a bunch of friends over. I ordered pizza and stuff, and just snack foods and stuff the kids would eat. Well, her kids hung out at the house. They'd come on the weekends, and I mean, from like the beginning, her oldest daughter would call me Dad. I didn't think nothing about it. She finally asked you just one day, I don't know if she called, I answered the phone or whatever it was. She goes, hey, Dad. Darlene was like, when she got home, you can't call him that. He doesn't care. She didn't want me to feel pity or anything for her. I can understand that. I mean, I literally can understand it. And I said, and I never did. I love kids. I miss Christmases and holidays, and but I'm okay because when you have one person that stands with you, it's better than having 20 fake people. I know she misses the grandkids, especially, I used to call her Little Napper, but her youngest daughter told the granddaughter, her name is Chloe, says, if he calls you that, he's not allowed to call you that anymore. You have to tell him. The last time that I got to see her, she was at her apartment before we moved into the house we're in now. I said, Napper, what are you doing? Don't call me Napper. You're not allowed to call me Napper. You have to call me Chloe. Who says? My mom. And Cheyenne says, if this, I said, well, I don't care what Cheyenne says, and I really don't care what your mom says. I've called you this your whole entire life. She wouldn't answer me. So I started calling her Chloe. And I knew then the world changed. So it's change of moments. I told her, and I'm telling you this stuff for a reason. God shows me stuff. My oldest sister, before I was born, doctors were saying that I was going to be a girl. My mom was saying, no, we've seen it, you were going to be another girl. My oldest sister had an angel come and visit her in the Copley house and said, because I was thinking, sure it wasn't a demon in that place, but it was there. Told her, the day and everything I was going to be born. Sure enough. I had such long hair, black hair, like a brownish black color, whatever, I know it was dark, that they would put bows in my hair, because my hair was so thick. I'd have girls tell me, I wish I had your hair, and I always wanted straight hair. Even when my hair was super long, and it was, people. If I could find a picture, I'd show you. Even in the pictures, when my hair would dry up, it would curl. I had a girl ask me one day, she goes, do you curl your hair? And I was like, no, how would I curl my hair? She goes, it's beautiful. I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. She goes, no, I really like it. I wish I could get my hair to curl like. I'm like, gross, please stop. It makes me sound like a girly girl now. You're just a girly girl. But I don't even know what the heck I was talking about now. I'm thinking about the girly girl. But I don't know. Let me go back to wherever the last thing I remember what I was even talking about. So she comes over. They end up leaving, and I'm outside because two guys are outside fighting, arguing, carrying on, and I don't even know what's going on yet. I'm like, this kid walks up, grabs pizza, throws it at this other kid. Now I'm like, what? And at this time, my daughter's coming outside. She goes, Dad. I'm walking up to that boy and I said, well, you got 3 seconds to clean that up and get out of this yard. And I mean as fast as you can get out of here. Matter of fact, don't even clean it up, just get out of here. He turns around as he's walking, F you. Tammy Sue's like, go, get out of here now, go. She's pushing him into I'm thinking, why, you're about to go through that gate, buddy. Good thing I own carpentry and I know how to fix stuff. The other one's sitting there with pizza all down him. He gets up, throws it into the fire pit, grabs another pizza, runs in the house, and throws it. Now I'm hearing people, these girls screaming in the house, and I'm going, son of a gun, I'm trying to break up these other two out here that rambling on about stuff and getting ready to go to blows. So I took the one to the gate. I said, just go. Or you with the guy that's just leaving? Yeah. He gets out to the front of the house and he's out there. You know how people get when they're screaming and jumping and all this nonsense. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me right now. Seriously, it's got to be kidding me right now. So I go in the house, and the next thing I know, there's cupcakes against the wall. There's juice all over the floor. And people, I'm telling you, on the weekends that I was home, I'd take all the furniture out and stack it into the kitchen, the dining room area. I'd push the table against there and stack furniture and stuff on it, and tables there. I didn't have a lot because of the divorce, but and I would polish these floors. I'd strip it all the way down. It was hardwood floors, repolish them, and that's why I said you can slide across these floors. And I'm looking at these walls, and I'm looking at all this down the hallway in the bathrooms, and I'm like, Tamara's outside, and I was like, come here. She looked at me, she goes, Dad? I said, you got 5 seconds, and I'm telling you, 5 seconds before I start picking people up and throwing out this door. So needless to say, the one was upset at my son because he started dating his girlfriend, which is the one he's married to today. Evil tongue. But they own a church. They tell me they own the church. I said, no, you own a building. You don't own the church. No, we own the church. All snasties. And I'm like, no, you own a building that is called a church building. I am not a church. I'm not a building. I am a representative. I am hooked to the vine of Jesus Christ. I am not a church. I'm not a building. I'm a church of the vine of Jesus. There's a big difference. You stand up here and sing a bunch of songs that you don't even understand the words because it's nonsense because of your life. The guy comes back in, puffing and puffing, looks at me, walks right up to me and says, move, boy. Well, you know how I said when some people could point their finger at somebody and poke it on their face, on their nose? That never bothered me. For some reason, when you called me boy, it was like that switch. I'm telling you, all these kids are just like draws dropping. My son jumps up, Dad, 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 Dad. And he grabs a hold of the kid and starts pushing him to the door. And that's the last thing I remember. I'm like, next morning, she had a couple of people stayed over. The girl that looked like a boy, that I argued with them, this boy is not staying the night here with a bunch of girls. I'm sorry, it's not happening. Dad, it's a girl. I said, that is a boy. Well, ironic thing about it is that's the person that her youngest daughter ended up marrying. Same one that threw the hat off at me later on. Well, to give you a little bit of more history because you're probably like, whoa, but you're used to it by now. And it's, you get to really see what people go through. Sometimes you look at life and you go, whew, man, I'm glad I didn't have, I'm glad. I've actually ran across a person that was telling me something about their life once, and I'm like, it makes my life feel like a little speckle of dirt compared to that garbage field that you just told me. So I called her up a couple days after that, and she thought it was my son calling. And I said, hey, we're talking. I was like, would you like to go out and have some coffee? Just as, I mean, I guess I probably should have said just as friends. And she says, no, I'm actually talking to somebody. He's in the military and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but I don't know how exactly it ended. And we hung up the phone, and I'm sitting in my office, and I go, I wasn't really asking you out on a date. I just wanted to go and talk to an adult. And she seemed real. I mean, the times that I did get to interact with her, she seemed like down to earth, like I didn't have to be a certain way. put on that man figure, like, hey. So it was like, I don't know, a year or so later, Easter time, my daughter was out at her mom's, supposedly, who knows. I tell you, people, you just lose track of things. You lose track of all of it. So she was supposed to go there. She asked if I could pick her up, and I said yes. So she was supposed to go there. Then I had Darlene's daughters texting me, hey, my mom wants to talk to you. And I was like, now what happened? Nothing bad. She just wants to talk to you. So I found out they were telling her the same thing, and I can imagine she's probably thinking, now what? Well, I told Tammy Sue when she was done to let me know, and I mean, even in that case, she was still working, so when she finished doing what she did, she had to run and grab food to make food. I had so much dang on food, they could have came out there freezing. I mean, seriously. So I ended up going, she ended up getting a ride home with her oldest brother because naturally he wanted to come and see what old dad made, and it was from the ex, the one that was just turning 1 year old. And it's hard sometimes to talk about stuff like this, it takes you on that merry-go-round, I guess. He's in a bad way, and it's hard. Lovable kid. I mean, he got older and he started acting like his older brother, and I don't know. But anyways, so I ended up going over there the next day after work, and I was there till almost 1 o'clock. We were talking, and I don't really remember everything that we were talking about, but I do remember us both agreeing, if we ever got into a point in life, we both agreed we would never live unhappy, because we both, I mean, she's been through some stuff too, and I don't tell a lot of her story because I don't want to butcher any of it, but I know she was pregnant. She got kicked in the stomach. I know the guy that she was with was a seed from hell. Ain't no doubt in my mind about that. I mean, he would do stuff. He actually hit himself with a conch shell, left marks on him. Cops came and she got arrested for it. Now I can honestly say I've been drug out of the house by cops because they claimed the one night when she beat me in the head with a bat, my ex-wife, not Darlene, beat me in the head with a bat, and they didn't see the marks at the time. I mean, she hit me. The last time she hit me is when she hit me right in the temple, and I fell and I hit the stove, and it cut the top part of my head over here because I landed on my right side onto the stove. That was it. She went and locked herself in the bathroom, and I'm yelling, and people called the cops because they knew there was little kids and stuff in there. And I told her, I'm going to break this dang door right off the hinges. Cops come in, drug me out of the house. I don't blame them. I mean, I don't blame them at all. You got to protect me. And I was, like I said, at that point, I was working out and stuff, and I was in good shape. Now I'm like, that man body, grandpa body, I guess. I don't know what you want to call it, but I don't like it. I wish I could walk and do the normal stuff that I used to. And it is what it is. But anyways, it got to the point, I think that night, we talked all the way home. I talked all the way back to the house. I think I actually started falling asleep. Maybe I even fell asleep on the phone and she just hung up. I really don't remember a lot of it. And that was it. I knew her kids. I mean, they were coming over. I would even ask my daughter, hey, is the Miller girls coming over? If they are, I'll get you guys some snacks. My kids always had snacks. I mean, I had a deep freezer on the porch that had ice cream and stuff in it. My kids were spoiled. But anyways, let me pray. Yeah, almost 2 hours on this one. Oh boy, it's going to take 9 years to upload. Anyways, thank you guys for being on this journey. My Heavenly Father, I hope that there's a lot of important messages in here that they're going to get, and they're going to be able to sink into this and think about their lives. And think about how sometimes we need to look at other people's life to understand how great and how things doesn't seem so bad in our lives. And that's where we give you praise. That's where we give you glory. Father, I ask for broken chains. I ask for broken relationships to be mended back if it's of your purpose and your will. Father, I just lift them up and I ask for a peaceful, glorious rest of their day whenever they hear this, whoever watches it. I'm thankful for the comments. I'm thankful for them letting me know, keep going, brother. Keep going on. And I'm thankful when they even put on there, hey, much love. And people take it however they want. Take it however you want. I question your walk with Jesus in. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody's. Who knows? They might have that kind of feeling much love. I don't know. I'm not going to sit and put a lot of thought into it. Doesn't matter. What matters in life is you and your Son that you sent us, the Lord Jesus Christ. Lord, I just ask for peace, love, and joy over them today. I ask for protection. I ask for food to be on their table and in their cabinets. I ask their refrigerators never, the day they go in there and open it up, there's never nothing in it. I ask for to have what they need. I ask for all bills be met and good things fall into their place. I ask for a relationship that they have with you and lead them more into that, even if it's through these videos. Let everything in these videos be spoken, Lord, that you have to be spoken, or let nothing. And that's why I never come back against these videos, because I know exactly whatever happens in the middle of this rambling on in the side pathways that we come maybe back, and maybe sometimes we don't finish it, because maybe yet you don't need them to hear it. I don't know. But I know one thing. My cross today is moving, and I'm not of the world. I'm of you. I speak of you because you're in me, you're with me. I give you the glory because you are the glory. You are the truth, the way, and the only way to the kingdom and to the Father. So I just ask for this day to be over them and your protection. In your holy, glorious name, Lord, your love, that cross that you went to for us, be with us each and every step of this day. God bless y'all. Love you. Till the next one. Amen.